Go ahead and call this Board of Trustees meeting to order. If we could, Ebony, roll call, please.
Chair Wilson,
Here.
Vice Chair Benavidez, Trustee Foyt,
Present.
Trustee Wah,
Here.
Trustee Haran,
Here.
Trustee Melendrez,
Here.
Trustee Ortiz,
Here.
Trustee Ramaker, Trustee Whiteley.
Here.
Can they hear me online?
Trustee Rogers, can you hear us?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Trustee Rogers,
Here.
and we have a quorum, Chair.
Okay, and just for the record, the two trustees that are absent are both excused. And please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. No one signed up for public comment at this time.
We do have one person signed up for public comments.
Okay.
Please, you can go, sir, you can go up to the mic. Please state your name and your address and limit your public comment to 3 minutes, please.
My name is John Carlo. I go by JC. I'm on Instagram as the Ghost Patriot 1860. I'm very, very pleased to announce to everyone here that I am a candidate for school board in District G, and this public library falls within District G. I watched some assembly meetings with the public library, so I'm kind of a little bit familiar with what's been going on and with the tax situation, but I've got to talk to you guys about a lot of things. For one thing, as a school board trustee, I want to be able to work with the public library, provide programs. But beyond that, what's more pressing than that right now is my trespass. I was trespassed for not wearing a mask almost 6 months ago. And now, there's a federal judge in New York State that has said forcing people to wear a mask is unconstitutional. It is against the law. Well, I was being forced to wear a mask, and I told him I have a religious exemption, I have a medical exemption. I was trespassed. So I have not been able to use the public library. When there's bums out here, there's homeless people, they're doing drugs, they're doing crimes out here, and they're using the public library. They're abusing the public library. We'll deal with that another time, but I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a taxpayer. I need the library. I'm a candidate for District G. I'm a candidate for this Clark County School District. I need the library. I need the books, the resources. So I'm asking the board if they would lift my trespass, if that's within your jurisdiction, within your power, so we can work on making a better education system for the kids and a better community. Second, in this past fall, there was a group called No Racism 1865 who had held a town hall. It was advertised as a public meeting. Linda Cavazos, Brittany Miller, and school board trustee Danielle Ford were there, 3 elected officials. We showed up there, my colleague and I, we were there to learn what we can. They unlawfully kicked us out of the meeting. We have footage of it. If we need to bring it to the district attorney general, we will. If we need to get a lawyer, we will. But my colleague, he's on his way. His name's Cyrus. He's going to be talking to you guys. But we got to talk about what happened. If what they did was legal or illegal, because there was 3 elected officials And from what I understand, if there's 3 elected officials, you have a quorum, and that falls under open meeting law. So our rights were taken away. And so I would like the board to investigate that. I can email whoever the video, it's on my Instagram, but my time is up. I thank you guys for letting me speak, but I suggest please call me 702-969-4178. You guys have I'm here for you guys. I back you guys 100%. Thank you guys.
Thank you. I believe Ebony said there was just one signed up for public comment at this time. Moving on to the third agenda item. Has everybody actually reviewed the agenda? So, okay.
Move to accept the proposed agenda.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and accept the agenda. Moving on to the item 4, the minutes. If anybody has any corrections, questions, clarifications from the minutes, has everybody had a chance to review them?
Move to approve the minutes.
Okay.
Second.
We'll go ahead and accept the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next up, item 5, Chair's Report. I just have 2 little note-keeping things. In April, they finished the second half of the compensation study with the raw data at this point that we've been working on for the non-represented and the management staff. So they're going to bring that to the board in April and lay it all out for us. I would ask that if anybody has any questions, specific topics you want addressed, any of my fellow trustees has any benefits, how compensations accrued, how vacation leave, any kind of things, questions, ideas, thoughts like that, please get them to me by the 15th so I can turn them over to HR and Director Watson, so they have plenty of time to research your questions and come to us in April with everything laid out and answered. This way we don't get to April and surprise the staff with questions that they had no time to look into or research. Let's make sure we really get that in front of them with any thoughts, ideas, whatever it is you need covered. I just appreciate that. And on that note, let's move on to the Executive Director's Report.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, Board of Trustee members. So speaking to the mic. So you have my report as delivered. Lots of activity continues to take place, lots of accomplishments. Ebony emailed a lot of information a couple of weeks ago regarding some of the upcoming awards that we have received, as well as some of the services that we've launched, such as the launch pads, which focus on pre-K to 3rd grade readers. This past Friday, I actually had the opportunity to participate in reading during Nevada Reading Week at Trustee Haron's school and read to 2nd graders, 3rd graders, and 1 4th grade class. So that was pretty exciting and fun. I also, during my report, I want to have Director John Vino and Dr. Rogers provide a quick update on where we are with the West Las Vegas Library. And so I want to do that during my report time. So I'll yield to Director Vino.
And I'm just going to interrupt for half a second on one thing I forgot to mention in regards to the director, since we're talking about his report. Trustee Ortiz, you'd asked about the director's annual review. I will be sending out an email this week to all the trustees with the review questionnaire for the director, and we will be taking care of this on April's agenda then.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chairman, through you, traditionally we discuss it in closed session and then we report out the findings in public session.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Vino, welcome. Fill us in on all the wonderful progress we've made. Have the basketball courts been installed yet?
Not quite yet. Yeah, we've in the last 30 days we've had the opportunity to meet with Commissioner McCurdy. We got good feedback from him. There were some issues. I think a lot of the issues we hear revolve around the intersection, the traffic, and how the community is going to get to the new location, which we are addressing. We've commissioned a traffic study through KME. We'll be working with the DOT and the city of Las Vegas to look into that as we get deeper into the project. A lot of the last 30 days have been spent on our community outreach. To be quite honest, we've had on February 22nd, we did our first community outreach. We had 120 individuals show up, including Councilman Creer. Again, a lot of the issues, I think once we were able to give our presentation as to what we're trying to accomplish with the 21st Century Library into the community, a lot of those issues kind of went away. A lot of the issues that were expressed at that meeting were specifically related to what's going to happen to our building and what's going to happen to the theater. And Councilman Creer answered a lot of those questions. That meeting was really focused on having communities like pastors and other individuals in the community help us get everyone out to our March 21st meeting. So we've actually been quite busy. We've done email blasts. We've done mailers to everyone within 1 mile radius of the West Las Vegas branch. I think that was 16,000 mailers that went out. We've done Watson's done some, Dr. Watson, geez, excuse me, Director Watson has done some radio advertisements, which will be playing over the next 2 weeks. We've canvassed the area. We have posters up. We think we've really got the word out to the community. We've been working on activity boards and information boards, which will be in the lobby. We will have what we're calling information ambassadors, district employees that will be out in the lobby, to talk about the program. We'll have a full presentation. We're anticipating anywhere from 300 to 500 people at the community meeting that's coming up. I think we're in pretty good shape for that. A lot of that will be similar to the presentation that we did earlier with some updated information. We're asking the community input on things like what type of maker spaces would they anticipate? How do they want to see our outdoor space utilized? How we're promoting our event center and what would be important to them and how would they like to see the event center? We're asking about our business incubator. What equipment, what would they think would be beneficial to them as we start potentially a business incubator at that location? We're asking them just straight up what was their dream library look like, and allowing them to give us input. We ask for what their priority is, and at the same time, we're allowing them to use Post-it notes to tell us, just tell us what your thoughts are. I mean, that's our idea for the interactive boards. That's kind of a snapshot of the last 30 days. It's been busy, but mostly just getting ready for the upcoming meeting. I don't know if Trustee Rogers has anything to add.
I would just add that, based on my participation in all those meetings, I thought that overall we got the outcome that we desired. We've gotten the accurate information out to the stakeholders and the community. And we've separated, in terms of who has the authority concerning the existing facility once it's sold, that information will come forth from the city, not from the library. And I think the community understand that. So we are, and then, even though that article came out, we think it was very positive that Commissioner McCurdy shared that we are in conversations to have some sort of pedestrian overpass to increase the safety concerns or to address the safety concerns of the community. Those were big questions that were asked. And we think that, now that we understand that, we will be better prepared to address that up front by just having it as part of our presentation, so we can take the steam out of some of the questions around safety, as well as the use of the building once it's sold. And the other area that we anticipate questions around, like how come we can't stay at the current location? Director Watson and I talked briefly, and I think he may have already updated John, but we'll probably incorporate as part of our statement up front with our presentation why it's not financially feasible to build at the current site and some of those constraints and other trade-offs. And then lastly, I will just pivot and share that in your packet should be, or in diligence should be, access to the PowerPoint presentation that we committed to share with everyone. So you are aware of what we are using and what we're sharing with the stakeholder meeting. So if you have any questions, we can answer those through that document. And then lastly, John put together a nice overlapping timeline that showed key milestones from when we did the East Las Vegas Library project and how those compare to the West Las Vegas Library project. We being John and I will be prepared to put on the agenda item for April to sort of walk you through that so that you can interpret it appropriately. But we are, you know, tentatively ahead of schedule compared to where we were when we started the this project versus where we were when the East Las Vegas Library started.
Cheers. Very much appreciate all the work you're putting in to keep us updated on this. Mr. Vino too. I can't wait to get the timeline deal because that was a pretty good idea when I heard about it.
Yeah, they're goals. You
So
know, I mean, East Vegas, in fairness to East Vegas.
I just want something to hold
some-
over your head. That's all.
You know, that's why I'm saying they're goals. They're not commitments. You know, I assume this project, like any project, will have its own hurdles that we'll need to attack. You know, but I mean, it's pretty similar to the original schedule that we had for East Vegas, and then East Vegas ran into, as we remember, its own issues. You know, as we work through that. But I think some of the issues we saw when the community came into to our first community meeting was just misinformation. I mean, it was out that we were closing the library and moving it out of the community. And as soon as we, you know, we talked about the library, as soon as we showed them, we had a pretty powerful particular slide that showed the 21st century programming that we couldn't do in the current library, that we would be able to do in a larger library. And as soon as we really start talking about that, I think it made a big difference. It shows, you know, the difference between a 16,000 square foot library and potentially a 40,000 or 39, whatever it comes out to be, you know, what we can do in a new modern library. And I think overall it was well received once we got into the presentation.
Thank you. Trustee Rogers, if I could, since you're kind of heading up the information here for the board as a whole, with regards to the March 22nd community meeting, encouraged for the board to show up as many of us as possible, or best left to Trustee Rogers to keep it to less confusion and less feral cats running around?
Certainly, I don't want to dissuade anyone from participating should they want to come and participate. I would say that, you know, I think we have it handled. But if you certainly want to come out and support, I would say, you know, just probably let us know in advance, because I imagine, you know, if we're going to try to have so many people sitting at the head table, so to speak, the presentation table, we'll want to maybe try to manage that a little bit and not have too many people there, because we are going to have we're planning to have some city representation to address the questions that may be unrelated to the new bill and related to what's going to happen with the current facility once the city has ownership of it. So I guess I did a great job of not answering questions.
No, that was actually a perfect
well,
answer. What I was going to do is I was
everyone's
going to now kick it over to Director Watson for whoever's running that meeting. Why don't you do this? Have whoever's organizing that tell us how many seats are available for the board that will not be cumbersome. We'll send that out in an email, and first come, first serve.
Well, actually, Chair, Director Vino and I had already had this conversation. And the plan was that that Trustee Rogers would be on the stage, and certainly if other trustees came, we would have just be in the audience. And that way we can be consistent from our previous meetings.
Wonderful. Works for me. Thank you. Any my fellow trustees have any questions for Mr. Vino or Trustee Rogers, who's been following this so closely for us? You see Trustee Ortiz?
Mr. Chairman, real quick, through you, Mr. Vino, are we capturing is there a sign-in sheet?
There has been, yes.
Okay, then that's important for Joanne Privetti, so she can go out and ask for money and donations down the road. It's not just about gimme, gimme, gimme. It's got to be give us too. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
So before I close my report, Chair, I'd also like to provide the opportunity for our new development director, Joanne Privetti, just to, which you met last month. But I just wanted to give you another opportunity to, as you can see, I'm giving most of my report to other staff, but to have her just say a few words and share the activity that she's been doing over the last couple of weeks, so you can get to know our development director.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's nice to be here officially at the last meeting. I was not an employee yet, but I really enjoyed coming and reconnecting with some of the trustees that I know and to meet the new trustees and talk about everything library. So in the past 3 weeks, I really hit the ground running. I've been out at community meetings and community breakfast at the Las Vegas Global Economic Breakfast. And I was able to connect with community leaders and donors, and I've already started setting up meetings. I've had a big potential donor meeting right before I started. We're still working on cultivating with that donor, and also meeting leaderships out in the employment community with the MGM and with the Ingolstadt Foundation and with Walmart and with these big corporations and with the United Way. I have the United Way coming into the office to meet with me tomorrow to discuss all things library. We have received donations from the United Way in the past, but the big funding will come from the employee giving. We know on the Strip we have approximately 50,000 employees, and most of those employees participate in one way or another with the United Way paycheck program. So we're going to discuss how we can focus on the library and raise the awareness to individuals on the Strip and these employees of the importance of what the library has to offer. You know, because I know we've discussed this before, and it's been discussed at other meetings, that we really are more than books. We are a community support system. And as the development director, I am the storyteller. And I have to tell the stories to these organizations and to the employees to tell them what programs we have so that I can align it with the donors. And I just want to talk about some successes that we've had this week. Just in the past 8 days, we have submitted 1.5 million in grant funding. And 2 of the grantors that we have submitted to, we have not done any grants with them in the past. So these are new grant opportunities for us. They're going to be covering a lot of programs, and we're looking forward to hearing back from them soon. We also submitted an $80,000 grant to the MGM Foundation. Now, I know we've worked with them before, and this is for the Teachers in Libraries program. We've also received $397,000 in grant funding just yesterday alone. 200,000 of that came in from the IMLS CARES grant, which is for the cell phone grant, where we're partnering with T-Mobile, and we'll be distributing these cell phones out into the community with various organizations at the Clark County Library. We're still finalizing the details, but once we have that, we will let everyone know, because leadership from Best Buy and leadership from T-Mobile will be coming in for this event because it's really a big event here. They're looking at April 21st, but once everything's finalized, we'll let everyone know. And also we received approval for a FEMA grant that was submitted 2 years ago. And this is for $197,000. And this grant is going to cover a lot of the COVID expenses that the library had during COVID when all those regulations came in on the cleaning and the masks. So we'll have more information for that once we receive the funding. But there's a lot of great things going on in the library. I'm enjoying getting out there in the community and connecting and telling the stories. I've been meeting internally with various departments 2 to 3 times per week and seeing what their needs are. And that's really where these 2 big grants came in that we submitted, the 1.3 and the $125,000. And that's just from talking to the employees and the leaders of those departments on how we can make the library better. I have meetings set up really for 4 weeks out in the community. And at the next meeting that we have, I hope to be able to report some more funding and some more donor secures that we have.
I really am just so disappointed. I thought you'd get off to such a quick start. Wow. Talk about hitting the ground running, huh? You're not wasting any time getting out there.
So I start my 4th week tomorrow.
That's wonderful.
So,
all good news.
thank you, everyone.
Chair, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. On that note, do any of my fellow trustees have any reports they'd like to call forward?
Mr. Chairman, just a real quick question for Mr. Matt McAnally.
Yes, Trustee Ortiz.
That Ms. Privetti wrote in her report that they had obtained $746,200 to purchase Chromebooks. She just finds the money, but it goes to you. Have you already designed how that's going to work?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
That's actually
Thank you,
some
Director.
funding that we applied for before Ms. Pravetti came on. So we are in the process of receiving those 2,000 Chromebooks. And we had a meeting yesterday to discuss. Matt was out sick, so he didn't participate. He wasn't able to participate. But we are looking at two opportunities on how we plan to use those 2,000 additional Chromebooks. One is a potential partnership with the College of Southern Nevada, and the other is a potential partnership with over the summer with our summer youth program. So we just received the funding, and we have the 2,000 Chromebooks on order. And so we'll be providing more details on how we're actually implementing those to the community.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I'll come back and ask whenever you have that plan ready. Thank you, Director. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
One last check online, Trustee Rogers, Trustee Melendez, anybody else, any report questions?
Not
I
for
have
me.
one. Sorry.
Yes, Trustee
I-
Turner Whately, please.
I think it's Betsy on your plate. I'm just curious about the Customer Appreciation Day. So I don't know who can tell me more about that, but I just really want to know more about that. Want to make sure I can support you guys.
Segura Library Operations for the record. So our Customer Service Appreciation Day was a brainstorm of one of our regional managers, Chantel Clark. She put together a committee to work on ways that we can kind of address our playbook on how to get more people to come back to the libraries and come into our physical buildings, because they've been so good about meeting us online and meeting us out in the community. We wanted to work on a way to kind of show our appreciation that they've stuck with us through the pandemic and let them know that we are here for them, we're here with them, and we do appreciate what they're going to do. So on April 26th, all 25 branch locations are going to be doing a celebration with customer giveaways activities. And then we're also going to be participating in surveying our customers to find out how we as a district and they as a branch can serve our customers better, fill their needs and meet their interest. So that's basically it in a nutshell. We'll have some more announcements, but we do encourage the public to come out April 26th to Customer Appreciation Day at your favorite local branch.
I love that. I just wanted to thank you guys for thinking about reaching people and opening doors, because I think it's so important. And I absolutely love the survey idea. So let's keep making sure that we're supporting the communities in which we operate.
Definitely.
Thanks, Leah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Turner Whately. Looking around for a last call on reports. Seeing none, I will accept the reports, and moving on, unfinished business, we have none. And going on to new business, we have one item. Discussion and possible board action to change the start time of the monthly Las Vegas Clark County Board of Trustees meetings to 5 p.m. We had this on last month's agenda and it was tabled because we conflicted with Trustee Rogers' schedule. He has since informed me that his class schedule frees up after April. And my understanding that everybody will be better suited by a 5 p.m. start time, going with the May meeting going forward. On that note, I will take a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move. Oh, second.
But
Hey.
really quickly,
Yes, discussion.
yeah, just can I ask Director Watson, I remember there was a library team member who was uncomfortable with the move. And so I would like to know if you felt any pushback or if there's been any, I want to make sure we're available to people and if that's a real hurdle that we're addressing it.
So that was the only comment that we received, Trustee Whiteley. I think there's a balance. We record the meetings, we make them available. There's going to be some staff that are going to be able to attend. We have a few staff here now. So whether we do it earlier, later, I think there's a balance, and that's the answer.
Copy.
Not a good, I mean, that's. the-
No, it's a fine answer. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any more percolating up that we hadn't thought about since it came up last time. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so next month's meeting, April, will remain at 6 PM. Starting in May, they will switch to 5 PM.
And Chair Wilson, this is Trustee Rogers. I had a quick question, clarification.
Absolutely. Yes.
Are we looking to keep this time into perpetuity so that I'll know when I'm doing my class schedule for the fall, that this is our time, 5 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Trustee Rogers, that this is the start time for the board meeting, but if we have committee meetings, the committee meetings are now, instead of being at 5, they will now move to 4 if they are actually going to be done on the same day as the board meeting, just for everybody's clarification.
Roger that.
And let's see, what are we missing here? Okay, on to that, going on to announcements. There will be a Finance and Audit Committee meeting on April 11th at 3 PM. This meeting will be held via Zoom. The April board meeting will be April 21st at the Centennial Hills location. Is that correct? Right, okay, that's what I thought. I got there. Yep, okay. At 6 PM. And the announcements now that are listed in the current agenda will need to be updated. Those meeting locations will remain the same. But May 19th meeting will be at 5 PM at Windmill Library. And the June 9th meeting will be at 5 PM at the West Charleston Library. And on that note, that wraps up the announcements. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment at this time?
Yep, sir, you need to make sure you
Yes.
sign in at the end and please state your name and address.
Go ahead.
Yes,
May I do that
Sir.
now?
sir. You can, Steph, you state your name and address for the record, and you can sign the sign-in sheet after your comments. We ask that all public comments are limited to 3 minutes, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cyrus Ojadi. I'd like to talk about an
Sir, can you, state your address, please?
Oh, it's I just moved. I'm sorry. I don't have it on top of my head. I'll have to look it up. May I?
Okay. Okay, yeah, we need to know if you live in the district. or
All right,
not.
I'll 9925 West Russell Road, zip code 89148.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to talk about some event that happened on August of 2021, and I have it all caught on video. There was this no racism town hall that occurred, and it was basically in Clark County Library. There were 3 elected officials. Me and my friend, we attended. I did not disrupt any event. Remember, we have this all caught on video, even by the organization itself. I left the event while they were playing a video. And while I left, I was in the hallway. The host of the meeting started yelling and screaming at me. And she prevented me from going in. And I mentioned that I did not want to go in. I just wanted to speak to elected officials. And first of all, I had no idea that they supposedly call this a private event, but we had no idea it was a private or public event because it was marketed as a town hall with 3 politicians. Automatically, the library staff took her side without any investigation. They did not give me any prior warning about how I was or what I say. They gave no quotes or information about what I did or anything that went on. And they were giving me mixed responses on what to do. One said I had to leave the building. The other one said I had to go to the other side. Other one was just asking me questions. So it was kind of like I was played like a football. And then I was waiting for my friend, who he's the one who got kicked out. I could be wrong. And his papers got mashed and lost and distorted. So that's why we had to wait. And then all of a sudden, They were accusing me of being loud, and I have it all on video, and the opposition has the video too. They have no evidence that my voice was louder than anybody else. And again, they have no evidence. And with trying to, it seemed like adding gasoline to fire, they issued me and my friend the trespass. Now, remember, I did not get kicked out of the event. I was not given any warnings. And all of a sudden, I asked for my reasoning, and then they said there were 3 law enforcement agencies, and I'd like you to investigate why that was the case. And it's kind of funny because these people, they criticize the police, but yet this was a very, very small matter. And the officer nearly handcuffed me. He grabbed me, and they wouldn't explain what happened. And they still wouldn't once I left. And I called them the next day. I have it recorded. They wouldn't explain what was going on. Now, all we're asking is investigation. And please give us examples of what happened. What did I do wrong? Who was causing the problem? This is all we ask. And if we don't have an investigation, these things are going to happen again. And we may have to take third-party action. So, and why is this important? Because I believe that they want to just keep building heat on me. So next time there's something like this, they'll be able to use it against me. And I think the issue is all I want to do is talk to elected officials. They barely have any public town hall meetings. So what can you do to really investigate this, get some information about this? I really felt like this was really a trap. And if honestly, if there was any evidence of what I did, just tell me. But just wrapping it up and walking away, that's not right. And it's almost as if like I just got a parking ticket and my driver's license was revoked.
I don't want to, I got to keep you aware of time here to be fair to everyone.
Okay, but thank you.
To clarify that we have this on the record,
Mhm.
I don't want you to be rushed off either. So we have your name. Have you submitted? We can't take action as a board on a public comment, but have you submitted to the library to review this trespass? Have you turned it over to anybody internally here? Have you contacted any formal channel?
I am not interested in going back to that library.
Okay, thank you. We have what we need to start the investigation from this end. Thank you for the comments.
But we need to, but I do believe that there was a wrongful action that was taken. And this could have been handled a lot more appropriately. This could have been done, and there could have been prior warnings. There could have been a sign. There could have been handled this in another building because, and of course, we need to know why there were 3 law enforcement agencies.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Up for public comment at this time.
No, we do not.
Mr. Chairman, before you close the meeting,
Yes, Trustee Ortiz.
real quick, in May, we have the May 19th, and I know our budget's due. Director, is that going to be enough? Because usually we have the report on the budget meeting separate. Is that correct, Jerry? Public meeting on our budget, separate from our regular meeting.
Well, we can have it at the same time. Floresto has to do it on that day. I mean, that's the date we're required to do it.
Okay.
So are you going to give an advanced presentation before the May 19th, or is that all going to be handled then?
Floresto Cabayas, CFO for the record. In the April meeting, we'll be presenting the tentative budget that's due by April 15th for the board's information. But on the 3rd Thursday, our traditional May meeting, that's the final budget presented to the state after being adopted by this board, subsequent to the presentation in May. Did I answer your question, Trustee Ortiz?
It does. Well, it does. In other words, the May 19th meeting is going to be a little bit longer because you have to do the public meeting on the budget.
Yes, the formal presentation
Mr.
for the board's consideration. Yes, that's right.
Thank you. That's all I needed.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, first.
Okay. And on that note, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
All right, everyone have a good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.